The Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History has closed just a portion of one of its exhibits. I'm Juliette Lamar, your community reporter in Santa Barbara, learning more about the enforcement of a federal rule protecting Native American artifacts and how the Chumash tribe and the museum are working together. The first inhabitants of Santa Barbara were the Chumash, a Native American tribe known for their canoes, shell money, beads, and fine basketry. But you won't see any of those artifacts at the Museum of Natural History. In January of this year, new regulations were added to the federal human rights law, NAGPRA, requiring museums to return Native American remains, funerary objects, and other sacred pieces to the tribes of origin.
For too long, it was the museums that told the story of Indigenous peoples, and now we get to let them lead the way.
NAGPRA officer Jonathan Malandine explains that for the past 2 decades, these displays were filled with Chumash artifacts, curated in collaboration with the tribes. The new regulations require another level of explicit consent for cultural items. Volunteer Pat Ackerman works with artifact replicas, educating kids on early Chumash life, and thinks these regulations are a good thing.
They need to have a word about if they're in the museum at all.
President and CEO of the Museum of Natural History, Luke Swetland, says the museum has thousands of items that are not sensitive, but still have historical value.
We can tell powerful stories about Chumash culture, past, present, and future, without ever having to display anything that's sensitive.
For now, the Chumash Life exhibit is temporarily closed, while the museum works with the San Ynez Chumash tribe, who provided this statement. Our tribe is encouraged by the recent movement we've seen as a result of the new NAGPRA rules, and we hope it continues. We have dedicated, knowledgeable members of our community who have worked closely with universities on past reparation efforts, and they're looking forward to consulting with museums on their exhibits going forward. The museum hopes to reopen the exhibit in the next 1.5 years.
And we will end up reopening these exhibits in collaboration with the tribes.
If you have a news tip, feel free to reach out. Either call, email, or scan the QR code on your screen. In Santa Barbara, Juliette Lamar, KSBY News.